I'm Gary West, and I'm here with Danny Pish, trainer, longtime trainer in Texas. Now, just to put this in perspective, do you know how many races you have won? Do you have any idea?
Well, I know I'm over 2,500.
You know you've won a lot.
Yes.
To be specific, 2,575 races. That puts him pretty far up there on the all-time winningest trainers list in horse racing. And to put that in perspective, the guy right beneath him is the great Charlie Whittingham. You saddled more winners than Hall of Famer Shug McGahee, Richard Mandela, Laz Barrera, more winners than Brad Cox and Chad Brown, and you have built a tower of success. And in the shadow of that tower right now is the 1880 Training Center that you're putting together right now here in Lipan, Texas. Tell us about this place.
Well, we have a half-mile oval, 70 feet wide, laid down a real beautiful surface on base for the racetrack and got wonderful material on the track. We have 42 stalls. There's 26 right behind us, and we've got 64 acres with 11 different paddocks. Some of them are larger paddocks. There's one of the biggest being a 10-acre paddock, and so we can accommodate 42 horses in training as well as 28 turnouts.
Now, it's a perfect name, perfect because that's what horse racing is all about too, dreaming and trying to realize that dream. That's what this place is about, that's what horse racing is about, but you almost took that dream elsewhere. I know a few years ago you were based in South Texas and you were thinking of relocating, weren't you?
I was, yes sir. Things were not looking that good on the Texas scene, and I looked at places in multiple different locations, even Kentucky, but looked in Louisiana quite a bit, Oklahoma, and just was trying to go to a healthier market somewhere. And then House Bill 2, what is it?
The House Bill that established the equity fund to supplement
yes.
racing and purses.
Yes, and when that passed, well then immediately my focus went to staying in Texas, because I'd been many times accused of being too loyal to Texas, and because the gentleman you mentioned at the beginning of this little interview, I mean, these are guys that tower over me with accomplishments at the high levels. Yes, I've got more wins than them, but they did it at the highest of levels, and I always just kind of stayed locally, and I always fed my family, paid my bills, fed multiple families, lots, 20 some odd different families working for me. So we did okay, and we got the bills paid, but that was starting to not be the case any longer, and so hence the reason we were looking outside the state. But then when we got this, the equity that came in from the House bill, well then we just changed and said, well, you know what, that allows me to stick to my guns and stay loyal to Texas like I always have been.
Yeah. Danny, I'm looking around at this facility here that's in the process of becoming what you envision. What was here though when you first bought this property?
When I first bought the property, there were some nice paddocks and one barn, I could see some potential in the rest of it, and so then we rolled up our sleeves and went to work. Just in purchasing the property, we had made a decision to double down and really stay solid with Texas racing. It has worked for me for many years, and as I mentioned earlier, we had considered leaving, but once the money got better in the state of Texas, that we decided to double down and stay here. And so, like I said, we just had one barn and some nice paddocks. So we moved a lot of dirt, built a real nice racetrack here, put the rails up, built a 26 stall barn here, built an additional 18 stall barn up closer to the house, built an indoor round pen, and some more fencing, some more paddocks, and we've invested right out $1 million to improve this property to make it a top-notch training facility that we can make the most of for our clients.
$1 million. Yeah, you have doubled down on horse racing in Texas. The 1880 Training Center here in Lipan, Texas, made possible by the creation of the Horse Industry Escrow Account, which is putting money back into horse racing, back into the hands of people who work in the horse industry. This guy, Danny Pish, is one of the leading trainers in the history of horse racing. If you're interested in horse racing, interested in Texas, this is not only your go-to guy, this is a guy that has set an example to follow.